proofed and reviewed by student editors and faculty advisors. Still, it somehow fell through the cracks. On page 190, introducing the senior class photos section, is a quote from Adolf Hitler, reading, "And in the last analysis, success is what matters." District officials have publicly apologized for what they're calling an oversight in the revision process, a process which, from now on, we're told, will include the high school senior principal.
Well, I think it's a simple mistake, and if you take the quote as it says it in the book, then, and not who said it in the first place, I think it sounds good.
They're obviously using it for the actual quote. They weren't, like, putting what he was actually saying it to. Like, they're just saying, like, the success obviously is the only thing that matters in the end, but they're not actually talking about what he was using it from.
Now, 600 of the yearbooks were sold. 400 have already been passed out. The rest will not be passed out until school officials put stickers covering the Hitler quote on each of the remaining 200 yearbooks.
Oh, that's great.
How did a Hitler quote get by enough people that it actually went to print?
I didn't know that quote. I would think, oh, okay. But it wasn't. It didn't say Adolf Hitler.
Oh, it wasn't attributed to?
No, it was just a quote.
Well, then that's not a big deal.
Hey, that's hilarious.
If it's not attributed to Adolf Hitler, you're not going to catch that. What are you going to do? What are you going to Google every phrase in the book to make sure somebody abhorrent throughout history never said the same thing?
Well, see, that's the thing is whoever that woman was saying, in the future we're going to, and my brain was completing the sentence. What? Vet every quote to make sure it wasn't from Hitler's mouth. Come on now. To be or not to be, that is the question. Was that Hitler?
Somebody look it up.
You need to do a search on every quote next to every picture. Wait a minute. This kid says a house divided against itself cannot stand. Google that together with the word Hitler. Oh, boy.
What if Stalin said it? So what was it like to be one of Gaddafi's hotties? I don't know if you knew this story, but we talked about it before. Muammar Gaddafi, the weirdo, who is he's a Hitler wannabe,
right?
Had a whole bunch of like stripper-looking chicks with guns that were his personal guard.
Yeah, it was like a Playboy Bunny goon squad.
She's a fashion model. She has a fashion model's looks and an executioner's trigger finger. A 19-year-old member of Muammar Gaddafi's gun girl militia has admitted to executing at least 10 rebel prisoners because she said she would have been killed if she didn't pull the trigger on her AK-47. Nisreen Mansour al-Farghani said she was terrorized by her superiors, even raped by her commanding officer, after being recruited last year into the elite all-female unit of the Popular Guards. While the Gaddafi regime began to collapse, she was ordered to become a serial executioner, apparently because Gaddafi's thuggish officers regarded being shot by a woman to be the ultimate humiliation.
Wow.
Nisreen said last Tuesday she was given an assault rifle, taken to a building in Tripoli's Basleen district, and placed under heavy guard. Rebel prisoners, tied up and gathered in a tree outside, were brought to her room one by one. They told me if I didn't kill the prisoners, they'd kill me, she tearfully told Britain's Daily Mail. I killed the first one, then we'd bring another one up to the room. He would see the body on the floor and look shocked. Then I would shoot him too. She said she turned away and shot without looking from a distance of about 3 feet.
Oh.
If I hesitated, one of the soldiers would flick the safety catch on his own rifle and point it at me. Nisreen said most of her victims were about the same age as her, around 19. I killed 10 or 11 over 3 days, she said.
Good Lord.
Isn't that unbelievable?
What a nightmare. Glad I was born here.
No freaking kidding. She said she trained at a camp in Tripoli with 1,000 other girls from all over the country and then was sent to a headquarters near Gaddafi's compound under the command of an officer named Mansour Dow. She said they went to Dow's office where he raped her. After it was over, he told me not to tell anyone, not even my parents. Wow. Nice.
All you bandana-wearing Che Guevara T-shirt sporting jackasses who smash up Starbucks windows and think you're revolutionaries, please.
Because you're so oppressed.
Right. And you're so brave to fight against the man. Look how dangerous you are. Keeping BART commuters from going home. Wow. Holy crap.
Isn't that amazing?
That's unbelievable.
Got a great text on what we were talking about earlier, that Pew Research study about Muslims' attitudes, in which the only thing anybody in America is talking about is the percentage of Muslims that feel like they're being singled out.
Right.
How awful, right? I'm waiting for the text to come up. So is our site just slow? Because we've had some people complaining, so it's probably worth mentioning on the air.
Yeah, it's slow.
You know, when we give away these iPad 2s, we do get just overloaded with people who are trying to text and get in, and then it kind of locks up.
iPad 2. I saw a joke I wanted to hear. Are you still waiting for it to load?
I got it.
Okay.
The headline should be, despite the fact that 1 in 5 Muslims have a favorable view of Al-Qaeda, only 60% of Muslims state they have experienced any backlash.
Wow, well said, my friend.
That is really good.
Tip of the cap. Is there a handle, a name on that?
You should work for a legitimate news organization.
Credit where it's due.
I'd give credit if I knew where to look for it. And I don't.
All right.
That is the headline.
Say that again.
Because the headline has been 60% of Muslims say they've experienced a backlash.
Oh, no, not in America.
And we're supposed to react to that with horror, even though this study is hundreds of pages long and there's all kinds of information, including showing that about 1 out of 5 Muslims have a favorable view of Al-Qaeda.
Right. Holy crap. So that's 300,000, right?
So the headline should read, despite the fact that 1 in 5 Muslims have a favorable view of Al-Qaeda, only 60% of Muslims say they have experienced any backlash.
Right. The narrative ought to be, evidently, security measures are so lax, so lazy, that, about half of Muslims haven't even noticed them.
And the backlash includes, you think you were singled out at the airport because you're Muslim.
You were.
Maybe, maybe not.
Well, in the end, what matters is success. Or whatever that was.
Oh, gosh. That is hilarious. So
the kid who did it.
Yeah, did they nail that down?
I love you. I want to adopt you. The reaction from the administrators, hilarious. They're going to take back 200 yearbooks and put stickers over the Hitler quote. So, because if we do that, then nobody will read it. Well, they're reading about it in the paper. Or I guess they could read it from the other side of. Well, we don't. We need to show that we're not pro-Hitler,
because otherwise people might think we are pro-Hitler.
They might think we're running some sort of, Nazi school here at Greenbrier Elementary.
Nazi Germany.
Oh, for God's sake!
You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show.